Here comes the doctor. Julius Erving and Philadelphia swept away the New York Knicks in 4 straight. The doctor hit 58% from the field. Elvin Hayes led Washington past San Antonio. It was a tough 6-game series. Now it's game 1, Eastern Conference Championship Series from Philadelphia. It's the Philadelphia 76ers in Washington. From the Spectrum in Philadelphia, the Eastern Conference Championship Series gets underway. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger. A pleasure today to be working with Hondo, John Havlicek. Hey, John, Philadelphia should be extremely well rested. They haven't played since last Sunday.
Well, the thing is, they have only played 4 games in 3 weeks, and I know they welcome the first week of rest. However, after sweeping the Knicks in 4, the second week is something that I really am not sure that they're happy with. I think that they'd like to be playing a little more often than 4 games in 3 weeks.
John, I noticed that the media here in Philadelphia thinks this is going to be an easy series. I don't happen to agree at all. I think Washington matches up better than anyone realizes, and this could turn out to be a tough series before it's over.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car. And by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere.
Back at the Spectrum and ready. Meet the starting lineups. Dick Motta and the Washington Bullets. Bobby Dandridge, his task is to stop Erving. At the other forward is Elvin Hayes, the starting center. Wesley Unseld, the tower of strength that guards for Motta today. He will have quickness. Tommy Henderson, number 14, and the big man, number 35, Kevin Greavy. Now meet the starting lineup for Billy Cunningham's Philadelphia 76ers. At the forwards, Erving and McGinnis, 2 familiar names. At the center, the underrated Caldwell Jones, who played so well against the Knicks. In the backcourt for Cunningham today, he will have number 14, Henry Bibby, and number 20, Doug Collins. Motta said a short time ago that what we do against Doug Collins could well be the key to this entire series. The lead man about to toss up the ball is Earl Strom. Hugh Evans on the court. Lee Jones is the alternate. McGinnis gets the opening tap, goes to the hole for Philadelphia in their home whites, and they get the first basket.
George McGinnis that time with a mismatch right off the bat. A guard defending, he just took it to the hoop.
The Bullets in their traveling dark uniforms. McGinnis does take Hayes as they come down. Jones out on Unseld. Offensive foul. It'll go back to the 76ers. Foul number 1 on Hayes, and of course the foul situation in this series will be critical. Bobby Dandridge, who must take the doctor. Can Greg Ballard, the rookie, handle him when Dandridge takes a break? All of these questions will unfold beginning this afternoon. Second game Wednesday night in Philly, then to Washington Friday night and next Sunday. Here's McGinnis, 30, down the middle. Battling for the rebound. And there's Unseld. Caldwell Jones gave it up. And Tommy Henderson with control.
Going to find a lot of battling under the boards. The Bullets are very physical, and as you can see, George is taking it right to the hoop.
Henderson is 14. Bibby also 14 with him. Unseld with that massive pick was out on front. McGinnis taking Unseld this time. Bobby Dandridge squeezes the trigger. McGinnis looking strong on the glass. Pass intended, and Collins was there. Greavy almost intercepted. Doug goes down for daylight and missed the shot. Hayes lead now. Dandridge should have a gimme. We are tied.
There's some four-court balance. You had Doug Collins penetrating that time, and no one came back on defense and gave up the cheap basket.
76ers last year defeated Houston to win the Eastern Conference Championship before bowing to Portland. Portland and Seattle, one of our doubleheader games today. The other one, Milwaukee and Denver, coming up after this. Turn it over. It'll go to Washington.
Good
Collins
defense.
wanted pushing, didn't he, John, on Greavy that time?
That's right. It's good defense. He fought around the pick very well and ended up putting Doug off balance, not being able to get the shot or the pass.
Unseld stepped out, and it's offense again. That's against Henderson. And that's the second offensive foul called against the Bullets here in the early going. A field goal apiece.
I think that Tommy shoved off a little bit on that before he made his cut, and they caught the first foul.
Here's Irving in low. Hayes jumped over on him, helped out. Henderson at the point, comes down to the attack court for the Bullets. Dandridge went to Hayes. They had Jones over there on him, and Elvin found daylight.
On the other end of the floor, the 76ers are going to be given that perimeter shot, but inside they're going to have to go up against Elvin and Wes Unseld, and that's a pretty big task, believe me.
76ers could be a bit stale offensively, but not that time. Collins with a shot. As John Havlicek told you, they have played but 4 games in 3 weeks. Bullets played Friday night. Hayes backing in. Mata said he was just magnificent, John, against San Antonio.
You can look for a lot of that because I believe Elvin's a little stronger than Caldwell Jones, and he's going to try and take him as deep as possible.
Unseld off with the outlet to Henderson. And of course, Philadelphia will be so conscious of Unseld's half-court pass to lead the break. Battling for the ball, Bibby and Unseld will now jump it up.
Bullets are very powerful inside. You must keep them off the boards. And one of the things I was always told, if you don't get the rebound, don't let your man get it.
Doesn't matter who gets an offensive position, now you take your position.
You can hear Strawn straightening out positions. Unseld heavily favored in this duel. But Jones got back, and then West came and hit it a second time. Went out of bounds, and so it'll go to the 76ers, who trail it 6-4 with 9:13 to go in the first quarter for the Spectrum. It's game 1, Eastern Conference Championship. Irving looks in and takes the shot up over Dandridge. Here's Greavy, who last year was a forward. Switched to the backcourt, the injury to Phil Chenier. Bullets are in good physical condition. Probably the best they have been in since the first part of the year. They've been bothered throughout the season. Kupchak, Chenier out all the way. Kupchak, though, is healthy. Irving battling Dandridge. Henderson swoops inside.
Good spin move to the basket. That time, Dandridge kept the ball, gave it off on the double team, and Henderson was able to put in a nice move going down the lane.
Sixers will shoot for a tie again. Jones.
If Caldwell could get hot, he could give some trouble to the Philadelphia or to the Bullet defense inside.
He played well defensively, particularly against McAdoo in the early going of the sweep over the Knicks. Greavy outside on Collins. It is McGinnis. Middle is clogged, so Bibby will set it up with George outside. Greavy must stick with Collins, who loves to keep moving. Comes inside. Unseld gives the 76ers but one shot. From the corner, it's the E. McGinnis off again, dominating the defensive glass for the 76ers. Bibby pull up. Bibby jump back in now on Elvin Hayes, coming off for that rebound.
The Bullets get up and down the floor real well, but I think the overall team speed has to go to Philadelphia. And that last time down the floor, the Bullets did get a good shot with Elvin Hayes from the side.
Unseld was feeding the ball inside to Dandridge, and Irving is called for the foul. Cunningham up protesting.
You'll see Wes Unseld at the high post a lot this series, and on the backdoor cut, Irving fouls Dandridge.
Dandridge swings around. Bibby on the switch. Dandridge up with a shot. 7 minutes and 14 seconds to go, first quarter, and the Bullets are up by the margin of that field goal. Hayes with 4, Dandridge with 4. McGinnis with 3 rebounds, and Unseld with 3 rebounds. Bibby puts a fake now on Henderson. Couldn't hit the shot. Greavy. Greavy quickly down. Henderson from the side. And Dandridge with an offensive rebound over the top of his head. Just a little short.
Just a little intimidation that time by Caldwell Jones.
Irving is second from that spot.
what I was talking about. Any man on the Philadelphia team can fill the lane and fill the middle with the ball in particular. So their team speed is something that they have an advantage on, I believe.
Here early in the game, we have watched Elvin Hayes change his shot pattern. He's not been posting low on that left-hand side as he so frequently does. He's moved right-left. McGinnis off with rebound 4. Bullets are back well on defense, and McGinnis crashes. 3-point chance coming up. Unseld met him, and George was going power on power. Timeout has been called. Cunningham is pleased with that effort by McGinnis.
On the last play down the floor, we had a 4-on-3 fast break, and when Greavy picked the man up in the corner, it allowed George McGinnis to act as a trailer and come and split the difference of the defense. So he was able to get in there, and with 4-on-3, you're going to score.
John, you did that game last Sunday in Madison Square Garden. George McGinnis afterwards popping off about his lack of playing time in Game 4. Well, the next day it was over at Billy Cunningham's house. He apologized for his outburst, said he is emotional. He wants to do better than he did last year in the championship series against Portland. That will not stop the rumors that he will be traded to Indiana before next season.
Well, I think that anytime you have a situation like that,
offensive foul on Hayes, and that's 2 as he was backing in.
it gets blown out of proportion a little bit, and I'm sure George wants to win as badly as anyone.
It's 13-10. The Sixers over the Bullets. 5 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the first quarter from the Spectrum. The first game of an NBA doubleheader today on CBS. Whistle away from the ball that time. And McGinnis was negotiating some room. Picks up his first foul.
Trying to get a little position that time and pushed off.
2 team fouls against the Sixers and 1 against the Bullets. Greavy up outside on Collins. Irving is there. Collins cut off by Henderson, and Henderson had position.
The Philadelphia crowd doesn't agree with that, but Doug Collins did put the ball on the floor, and anytime you put it on the floor and then run into the man, you're going to be called for a charge.
Collins checking for the pick. Unseld is there. McGinnis jumps out in a hurry. Unseld will hand out some bruises before this is over. Hayes stays right with it.
The key to that play was Wes Unseld on the switch. He took a small man to the hoop and kept it alive for Elvin to be able to put the ball back in.
Sixers up by a point. Mata wondering when the Bullets will get into the rhythm for this series after that tough 6-gamer over San Antonio. Dandridge takes it away neatly from Bibby and comes up with a jump shot. Short. Here's Bibby, lead to Doug, and there is Hayes, and they are trying definitely to establish position against Collins. McGinnis is one-hander on Hayes. Dandridge out. Hayes is down quickly. Mata saying he ran well against the Spurs. Greavy the open shooter that time.
The Bullets are getting the ball out very quickly. This is something that they will do, and they've had 3 or 4 good opportunities, and that time they capitalized. Philadelphia must get back quicker.
McGinnis. Foul call as Hayes was in the middle. Caldwell Jones was squeezing.
It's pretty tough to go over Elvin Hayes because he's 6'9", but plays much bigger than that.
Hayes with Caldwell Jones right there.
Caldwell is making him change his shot just a little bit.
What he did against Bob McAdoo, making McAdoo come up a bit. Bad pass. Dandridge in the lane on the interception for the Bullets. Bibby taking Dandridge. They go back to him, and on the mismatch turnaround, Bobby goes to the glass.
Good play and a good pass by Henderson. He realized the mismatch, and Bobby just sort of had the height advantage and stuck it in.
16-13. Washington leading Philadelphia. Collins maneuvering one-on-one against Greavy. Gave it up to McGinnis. Missed inside. Here is Irving. Greavy is off as the 76ers miss a couple of opportunities. Henderson and again is Caldwell Jones. So on defense, the 76ers are fine, but their offense is showing signs of being off right now. Bibby came back inside. They are missing, and that could be attributed to the long layoff. Now it is Henderson. Unique play for the Bullets.
Again, they're beating the 76ers back on defense, and they're able to get those quick, easy baskets.
And John Cunningham's going to go to his bench. Free and Nick soon will be checking in. Irving outside. He's hit 3 now from the perimeter.
You're going to have to give Julius a little more pressure out there because he will make that shot.
2 minutes and 40 seconds, and neither team in danger of going into the penalty right now. 3 team fouls on the Sixers, 1 against the Bullets. Pace of this will pick up dramatically in the second half. Dandridge swings free.
Dandridge posting Julius, and I think that in a situation like that, it maybe isn't the best thing in the world, but he's been effective doing it. It's a surprise to me.
John Dandridge has scored 8 points on 4 field goals here in the first quarter. Collins was trying to go underneath the McGinnis, and Bibby saved it. And the 76ers have shot poorly. Here's Dandridge, who's been flying down that wing now for Mata. That's 10 points. Now, Bobby Dandridge missed that opener of the San Antonio series, and the Bullets lost it. Then he came back, and they were able to break through in San Antonio. Cunningham will call a timeout, trying to settle his troops down. But, John, it's just as you pointed out, prior to the start of this game, the 76ers might be rusty on the attack because of the layoff. I want to send along my best wishes and all of us at CBS to Mark Splaver. He's a PR director for the Washington Bullets, who is hospitalized at George Washington University Hospital. Just before the start of the game, down with Frank Herzog, the radio announcer, I spoke to Mark in the hospital, feeling a little bit better today, watching the game on television. And get well, Mark, because we all miss you. He does a marvelous job with that team down in the Washington area, I'll tell you. All right, Lloyd Free has checked in for the 76ers. Henderson is there. Steve Mix is also there, 50 and 21. So McGinnis and Bibby are out right now. Collins gliding in. It was Caldwell Jones who drew the foul. Dandridge there.
Doug is so quick. He's able to penetrate the middle. He made a great pass that time, and the last time down the floor he did the same thing. They have to capitalize on those easy baskets, though.
John, that's the first foul on Dandridge, and it is so interesting the subtle things that Caldwell Jones does for a team like Philadelphia. McGinnis and Irving and Collins and Dawkins, they get all the publicity. And a man like Jones just sort of quietly goes about his job, and he is extremely effective because, as Havlicek pointed out down here, by getting up on Elvin Hayes, Hayes has to get his shot just a little bit higher, and that can throw your timing off.
That's right, and I think Elvin's going to try and get in on the break so that he can elude Caldwell Jones as much as possible.
It's Unseld out high, the key to the offense. He rolled off that pick. Philadelphia was conscious of that move. Dandridge. Out of bounds. Jones and Hayes were battling for it. Cunningham up, yelling instructions to the 76ers. Took over the Philadelphia job early in the season. Dick Mata, his second year at Washington. Greavy from the right baseline.
Kevin's a great shooter. He had a real good series against San Antonio and Atlanta.
It's 24-17. Mix. So at least early, Washington is forgetting about San Antonio quicker than Philadelphia can remember how to play. But as Mata said, they're going to remember in a hurry. Henderson. And they have extended the lead. The Bullets have 26-17. 9-point margin inside of a minute in the first quarter. First game of a doubleheader. Hayes met free underneath.
There's the defense of the Bullets. They will give you the outside shot, but when you go to the hoop, you're going to run into some problems.
Here's West, waits for the cutter. Henderson thought they were going to go the other way and stop before he completed the circle. So on the turnover, it'll go to Philadelphia, and Tommy yells out to West that he knows it was his fault.
Once you start a cut, you might as well go through with it.
Particularly when you got a passing center like Wesley Unseld, who can pick you up as adeptly as he can.
That's right.
Now they're playing for the last shot. Lloyd Free winding the clock down in the first quarter. It has not been an impressive offensive quarter for Philadelphia. Free giving it up to Mix from the right corner. And Steve Mix, you can see the time running out. Puts one down that draws the 76ers to within 7 points at the end of the first quarter. And immediately after this game, we'll have Portland, Seattle, or Milwaukee against Denver.
Basketball may seem as simple as throwing a ball through a hoop, but it takes a lot of know-how to keep making those shots game after game. I'm Doug Collins with Philadelphia 76ers. It takes know-how to stay healthy too, and your American Heart Association leads the league in helping all hearts, young and old. You can do your part by helping the American Heart Association with a generous contribution. Remember, we're fighting for your life.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. From the Spectrum in Philadelphia, we are set to begin the second quarter. I'm Brent Musburger with John Havlicek, and you can see in the first quarter, Philadelphia shot only 33%, the Bullets 48%. John, are you surprised at the Bullets' ability to run so far?
Well, I knew they were going to run. Elvin Hayes already has 6 rebounds, so it means that they're playing good defense. And once you get a chance to get that many rebounds, you're going to get up and down the floor. But they did get 10 points off the fast break, and Philadelphia must get back on defense.
Mitch Kupchak, who will start the second quarter, misses his first shot. Mata is looking for him to get back into the flow. He did not play that well offensively against San Antonio. Three, fouled by Larry Wright. Chance for a three-pointer.
Larry Wright played him very well. He stayed right with him, but just got a little too much arm on the play.
John, if Wright encounters a problem with Free, I would expect to see C.J. Charles Johnson coming off the bench. He has been a marvelous pickup by the Bullets this year, and he did some interesting things against George Gervin, even though he gave up a lot of height. He's a very active defensive basketball player.
He's extremely quick and very good offensively, and he plays the game at both ends of the floor.
And so Kupchak is 1 of 2 on that turnaround. It's a 6-point Washington lead. Sixers trying to get back into the rhythm with Dawkins, Bryant, Mix, Collins, and Free. The reserves call themselves the Bomb Squad. The only starter out there, Collins. Offensive foul is called. We have had 4 offensive fouls so far in this game.
The 76ers do look a little sluggish. They really don't have their rhythm, and that layoff did, I think, hurt them, particularly this first game, unless they can get it together a little later in the game.
Dawkins is out on right, so you know there's a mismatch underneath. Dawkins is trying to get in there. It's Wes Unseld coming up on Free, and Kupchak to the glass. He took a blow from Dawkins, too, as he tried to come away with that one. It's Joe Bryant outside.
The Bomb Squad is bringing him back.
On that shot, John. It's a 4-point game right now. Bryant will play with a lot of enthusiasm. Someone you look for right now. And Free is called for the foul, and Cunningham does not agree.
Free coming off a screen set by Unseld, and Lloyd Free trying to help out, getting in the way a little too late.
Reavy from the left baseline. 6 points for Greavy. It's 30-24 and 10-14 to go in the first half. Jimmy the Greek will be with us at halftime. Mix maneuvering in. Dandridge was there. Greavy was coming out and went down, accidentally tripped up. Joe Bryant. Greavy is all right.
Here we have Steve Mix going one-on-one. Dandridge with some real good hands, deflecting the ball. Greavy picking it up, taking off, being fouled from behind.
So we've got a timeout for the Spectrum. Greavy and Washington will go over to huddle around Bernie Vickers' staff, and head coach Dick Motta. Phil Chenier also here today.
On Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports continues its coverage of the NBA World Championship playoffs, followed by a doubleheader on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's NBA World Championship playoff action Friday night at 11:30 and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
John, I'm going to take you back to a year ago when the Boston Celtics came in here to the Spectrum. They opened their series that they eventually lost against Philadelphia, but they were able to ambush them in Game 1.
That's true, and they also had a rest last year, so if there is a time for Washington to really do something, it's today and get a psychological advantage.
Here is Kevin Greavy. One of the big changes with Dick Motta's lineup, that he could adjust at guard. Still has a lot to learn, according to Motta, about passing and some playing defense against some of the guards. And a marvelous scorer and a willing learner. 10 minutes to go now in the first half. It's 31-24. The Bullets and Free trying to reduce it. There he is.
Lloyd Free is an individual. If you give him that much room, he's going to can it for you. I notice now that the Bullets have 3 big people up front. That time, a nice pass from Unseld, picking out Greavy on the reverse cut.
Here's Free. Greavy on him. Wright is over on Bibby right now. And Free will take it up on him again. So he's 1 of 2 against Kevin here in the last 45 seconds. Wright gets over to the right. 33-26. Bullets in their traveling dark uniforms. Unseld is down low. Mix trying to front him. Greavy has it blocked by Free. Free on the lead, and Wright comes back from behind to back. Free trying to maneuver, and Wright did a good job that time.
Very good defense. Quick feed got in his way and made him miss the shot.
And Wright came back, but Hayes traveled. He just took off on the move.
Elvin was being pressured by Darrell, and Darrell knew where he wanted to go, where he wanted to take the shot from.
And John, here is C.J. Charles Johnson. 1975, he was a starting guard in Al Addle's championship team. Billy Cunningham yelling out the play to his 76ers. And C.J. will go with Free right now. Here is Mix. Unseld is there. Mix tries to put a move on him and stays with it. 76ers just don't have their shooting rhythm down yet, as you have been able to detect. 8:40 now to go. Kupchak went down to the floor. Mix was back there, and Mix fouled him.
I think Steve was a little perturbed about the last situation down the floor where he did not get the foul, so he fouled at the other end, and they caught him.
3 team fouls on the Sixers, 1 against the Bullets. And the Bullets feel that they match up better against Philadelphia than they did against San Antonio. Unseld with Dawkins flying at him. And Elvin Hayes over the top of Mix. And for Hayes, that is his 7th rebound.
Up front, the Bullets they have the real advantage now as far as size is concerned. I think that they're going to probably go to Elvin because Brian is guarding him.
Free was coming into Johnson, and C.J. did not establish his position.
Here again, we're going to have Free one-on-one. Charlie trying to get in his way, or Larry. Charlie did not do it in time.
Wright is coming back quickly. So the Bullets are not giving the 76ers time to set up. They've been pressuring him since the beginning. Mix takes it away and bounces it off a Kupchak, and will go to the 76ers.
Very smart play by Steve. He deflected the ball with the good hands.
Bibby and Free coming up. Wright pressures Bibby. Johnson over on Free. Dawkins spread out that pick a little bit, didn't he? And Free hit it.
Just like a building setting up there.
Now Mix goes down, and blocking foul is called. That's 2 fouls on Steve.
Mix and Kupchak both very aggressive, and they got a little thing going right now. Mitch has the height advantage, so Steve doesn't want to give any position.
Kupchak down low on the side. Dawkins is out with Unseld. Quickly to Kupchak. Hayes is there. Turnaround, and Dawkins gets back. Free. Oh, he loves the one-on-one.
He can bring them back, and that's his style. When he gets going, he gets everyone else going, too.
And he has brought the crowd alive, 35-32. And on the turnover, the 76ers, because of their bench, can ease to within 1. Bryant. There they are. The bomb squad has forced Washington into a timeout here in the Spectrum. 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the half. Philadelphia is back to within a point. Six minutes and 43 seconds to go. First half, Spectrum, Philadelphia, game one of the Eastern Conference Championship. First game of a doubleheader on CBS. You'll see as the second game, either Seattle against Portland, with Seattle leading that series 3-1, or Denver against young, aggressive, spunky Milwaukee. Denver leading that series 3-2. Game 6. So a lot of action coming your way on CBS this afternoon. Walker is in for Mata. He is short. Gets the rebound. Stay right there and put it down.
That time they were sagging off of him, and to establish that he can't shoot the ball, he's going to have to take that shot, or they're going to continue to sag.
It's Phil Walker. He's a rookie out of Millersville. And here they come again. Walker. Joe Bryant back to the 76ers. It's a three-point Bullet lead. Bryant down the middle.
Bryant beating Elvin Hayes down the floor for the easy basket.
You're watching Washington even after a basket. Come back. Oh, bad pass that time. Kupchak cut away from it. Mix down.
Mitch made the cut that time, and he was not even looking for the ball. And Mix happened to be in the right place and just took it down the floor with no contest.
And that puts Philadelphia ahead as they reel off two quick hoops. The point I was making is that Washington is trying to get down quickly, trying to keep the pressure on. Charging is called on young Walker. Now let's take one more look and see what Walker did here, John.
They're sagging off of Walker, and he really has no alternative but to take the shot, and that time he saw a little daylight. But since they are sagging, the defense is back.
5 minutes and 21 seconds. Philadelphia was down by 9. Kevin Greavy will come back. Cunningham's bench has brought the 76ers right back. Here is Free. He comes up. He is not bashful. Lloyd Free with 11 points has led the comeback.
He has his rhythm, Brett.
Dandridge, Kupchak, Walker, Johnson, and Hayes. CJ from his spot. Bibby battling his teammate. It goes to Dawkins.
CJ loves the baselines.
Walker reaching in on Free. Picks up still another foul, and here is Greavy. And Walker will quickly go to the side. Sometimes that can happen to a young man in the playoffs. A couple of quick fouls, bad turnover, and then the coach hopes he just doesn't get down on himself. Because in the playoffs, you don't have much time to give a young man an opportunity again. Loose ball foul underneath.
You do want to give them experience, but you can't afford to let them make a mistake.
Let's take one more look at that on that loose ball foul. Here's Bryant.
Daryl Dawkins getting inside position there.
4 team fouls against Washington and 4 against Philadelphia. So from the side, 76ers put it in play. They're up by 3 with 4:20 to go first half. Philadelphia's attack has gone outside of the perimeter. And that time Free forced one with Greavy draped all over it.
You have Lloyd Free isolated on the left side of the floor, and Greavy went right up with him. But as you've noticed, Lloyd Free, when he knows he's going to miss, he makes his body bigger by kicking his feet out, and sometimes you get called for the foul.
Now, what's important about that play is that obviously Greavy was sent in to defend Lloyd Free, and he took a little muscle to him that time. Now we'll see what happens the next time Lloyd comes down against Kevin Greavy. 5-point-6er lead with 4 minutes to go first half. Kupchak, good shooter.
During this second quarter, the Bullets have not gotten inside as well as they did the first half, and they haven't run as much either, but that's due to the fact that Lloyd Free is hitting from the outside, and there is no opportunity to run after a made basket.
It was Free again. Hayes was out on the switch. Misses that time. Dandridge. And Kupchak. Joe Bryant appeared to hit nothing but the ball. Let's take a look at that, John. I didn't think he got him that time.
Okay, we'll take a look. Bobby taking the shot right here. A lot of bodies in there.
And the big body kind of screened us out.
Yeah, the big body screened us out.
And now you can tell why it is so difficult sometimes to officiate in the NBA. Irving checks back in. Last year in the playoffs, he was marvelous, averaging 27.3 points a game. Kupchak's free throw makes it 42-41. Sixers leading the Bullets. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. NFL draft is coming up this week. Jimmy the Greek will talk about that at halftime live on CBS. At the perimeter, Mix on the move to the basket. Off to Greavy. Now the Bullets come back quickly. Greavy is inside of Lloyd Free.
Lloyd Free made him change his shot, but Kevin is a very good shooter. Pretty good defense that time.
That's 11 points for Greavy. Taken down by Kupchak. Lead to Greavy. 3-on-2. Greavy. Offense is the call. And Greavy and Hayes can't believe it, but Hugh Evans was right there. No basket.
Okay, you have a 3-on-2 situation here, and so many times a ball player will take it just a little too far. I think that most of the time a coach would like to see the middleman stop at the free throw line and either take the shot or dish it off to one of the wingmen.
And you can see that Kevin Greavy and the Bullets did not like that call at all. Dick Motta was at mid-court protesting, and Earl Strom quickly cut him off and threatened him with a technical. Timeout in Philly. Dick Motta continued to argue while you were away, so Earl Strom called a technical foul. Julius Erving stepped to the free throw line and tied the game at 43. Now you're back live. Collins, Free, Dawkins, Irving, and McGinnis on the floor for Billy Cunningham. Greavy, Dandridge, Johnson, Kupchak, and Hayes for Motta. Here's McGinnis shooting for a Philly lead, maneuvering one-on-one. Offensive foul is called. We've had a lot of offensive fouls called in this game so far.
A lot of offense, and with George doing his one-on-one move down low, he has a tendency to shoot the ball coming down. And with Elvin Hayes standing there, he intimidated him a little bit, and he got his off arm in the way to try and get position for the good play.
Kupchak and Dawkins fouled him.
Since Dawkins is... Here we have Dawkins. Looks like he's going straight up. Of course, the official saw it the other way. But since Dawkins has been in the game, they've been a much more physical team, and they're rebounding a lot better. And actually, he got them back in the game with that type of play, along with Free's one-on-one ability.
And John, that one-on-one ability has resulted in 13 points by Lloyd Free in the first half. 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Kupchak puts the Bullets up by 1. So Mitch Kupchak, they say, has really not been the same aggressive basketball player that he was prior to that fight with Lonnie Shelton. The fine by the league and being blamed seemed to take something out of it. And the Bullets are looking for a comeback in this series because he is some aggressive, hustling basketball player.
He also had an injury that hurt him a little bit.
That was that thumb.
An operation on his thumb, and it really isn't as well as it could be. He said that it's a little stiff and will probably continue to be for a while.
There's the 2-minute warning. Henderson behind Kupchak, went to Dandridge. Irving spreading out on defense, and Bobby turns around on him. Yanked down by McGinnis. 5 rebounds for McGinnis. Here's Irving. Ball going out of bounds. McGinnis was looking for the foul, claiming he was pushed. Tied at 45. Here's Collins. Tough check. Puts it down. Leads to Henderson. Philadelphia is back on defense. Greavy from the baseline flows into the middle. Here is Greavy. Philadelphia is jumping around on defense right now, John, double teaming the ball almost.
And Kevin kept moving very well that time. He thought he had the shot, then he passed it up and continued to move and got down low for an easy basket.
Philadelphia going for the tie. Knocked away. Hayes inside, Dandridge on the other side. Knocked it out of bounds, and Philadelphia will set it up from there.
Good hands inside, and I think that Julius wants to get this game going a little bit. Seems to be more offensive minded the last couple of times down the floor.
Three, just throwing up one outside, and McGinnis couldn't hit the layup, and there's the doctor. They're 0 for 3. Here's Free. Holds it up inside of a minute, 45 seconds. Bullets are up by 2. Collins. And Philadelphia cannot convert. They had 4 opportunities that time. Greavy is short and Collins is there. 27 seconds. Sixers coming back down for the tie. Cunningham telling to slow up.
We'll probably go to that.
As they can.
We'll probably go to Free in that 1-4 offense, and as he starts to make his move, if he can go all the way, he will. If not, then he'll dish it off.
Free starting the move. And the foul against Greavy. Let's take another look at that move he put on him as he came to the basket that time.
They cleared the right side here, and he's very tough to guard individually one-on-one. He just happens to get inside a little bit, and Greavy fouled him.
And that is foul number 3 on Kevin Greavy.
And that's his 14th point, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And 15.
So those 2 free throws, not the score again. Last shot time. Henderson will take it from Mata. McGinnis looks for the open man. Only a second. Did not get it off in time. For the end of the first half. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Championship finds the Washington Bullets and the Philadelphia 76ers tied at 47. Game 1 of a doubleheader on CBS. After this one ends, Portland, Seattle, Denver, Milwaukee. Side because West is now a center with that quickness to go to the basket, as you can see what John Havlicek is speaking about, just how even things are. 76ers with a few more points at the free throw line, 9-5 for Washington, and the only technical in the game was against the Bullet coach Dick Motta. Jack McMahon, one of Billy Cunningham's assistants, along with Chuck Daly, they send the 76ers back to work.
The rebounding totals are dead even. 7 offensive and 20 defensive for each club.
Kevin Greavy brings it up for the Bullets. Doug Collins is there. So it'll be Henderson, Greavy, Unseld. Hayes and Dandridge takes the first shot and puts it down just as he started quarter number 1.
Bobby moving very well off a pick down low, and to play against Julius, you have to move if you're going to be effective against him.
49-47. Bullets lead and tie.
There's the quick feet of Doug Collins. Kevin Greavy trying to fight over a pick, and Doug just reversing on him.
Irving, Collins, McGinnis, Jones, and Bibby. Cunningham's 5 starters on defense. Dandridge saved it. Comes up over the top of Irving. Knocked away by Hayes. Back to Bobby. Waits for Greavy. Collins comes flying at him. Jones.
Doug made a good hustle play. Came back and bothered him on the shot.
Here's Doug outside.
If you double team, you don't want to leave Doug Collins open because he sure can shoot it.
Washington gunning for the tie. Greavy comes down the baseline and gave it up to Elvin. He drew the double team, and Elvin was standing there, and he just gave it to him.
Very good play. He had the shot on the sideline if he wanted it, but went for the layup, and when the defense committed, he was able to dish it off for 2 easy ones.
Washington will travel home to practice. McGinnis in and out. Went out of bounds. Philadelphia retains control. Bullets will practice at home and then return to Philadelphia either Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. Irving, free inside.
Just a pretty move. Julius isolated one-on-one on the other side. Between the leg dribble, using the board very well.
Greavy brings it to the Dandridge side, which is the right, and then rotated underneath, and it'll score on that goaltending call against Caldwell Jones.
There's the effectiveness.
John, let's see how he got so wide open.
Here's the effectiveness. When you have a fellow like Wes Unseld sitting a pick, if you use it properly, you're going to be open.
Tied at 53 is the result of that play. McGinnis looking in, and Hayes just daring him to take that outside shot. So this time he does. Irving could not tap it in. Henderson to the middle. Stayed with it on that right side of the glass.
Tommy penetrates very well. When he penetrates, you have to keep him off the boards, and that time Bibby failed to do it.
Irving was rotating back the other way and drew the foul from Dandridge.
Here we have Julius isolated on the right side, going between his legs, spinning back. Dandridge using his hands fairly well, but the officials saw it a little differently.
So a timeout on the Spectrum with 9 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Bullets lead the Sixers by 2. Nine minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter, and this is game 1 of the doubleheader. You'll see either Portland or Seattle. The Supersonics with an opportunity to eliminate the defending world champions, and Denver trying to hold off Milwaukee, which got back in that series. Collins maneuvering inside for Philadelphia. No foul. Cunningham came 3 feet off the bench. Technical foul. Cunningham hit the Spectrum ceiling, and the technicals are even at a coach apiece.
Elvin Hayes made a good play the last time. He almost fouled, but used the backboard to keep himself away from Doug.
Greavy sinks the free throw. 56-53. It's a 3-point Bullet lead. 9:04 to go third. Greavy, Henderson, Unseld, Hayes, and Dandridge underneath now for the Bullets. Their dark traveling uniforms. Game 3 will be in Washington Friday night. Hayes on the turnaround, and it's back to 5.
When Elvin gets his rhythm, he's tough.
Now remember, it was the bench that brought Billy Cunningham and Philadelphia back into this in the second quarter, and he may get back to that bench in a hurry. Collins off to Bibby. Bibby with the open shot, left side. Make it 3 again. Now Greavy, the man in the middle, tall for the guard at 6'5", and here's Hayes. Jones to hold him up. Hayes outside. Battle is Wes Unseld. You can't move him. He's about 265 underneath.
There's Wes underneath. He's got tremendous body position, and with that weight, you're not going to take it away from him.
First basket of the game for Wes. Knocked free. Irving regains control, and here's Caldwell Jones outside. 60-57, and 8 minutes now to go in quarter number 3. Jones is sagging off. Greavy came up. McGinnis fouled him. And everyone is unhappy with just about every call right now.
On that particular play, we had a mismatch, and had they moved it around a little bit, you could have had Wes Unseld inside with Doug Collins, but as it worked out, we're going to get a free throw for Greavy out of it, and if he capitalizes, then it's a good play. If he doesn't, then they should have gone the other thing.
Cunningham giving Collins some instructions. Greavy is enjoying a fine game offensively. (62-57). Hayes with a hand on that pass for Irving. Julius pushed off that drive pass by E. Now it's Henderson back down. So Philadelphia looking now for some offensive spark. Dandridge. Collins is off. Lead to McGinnis. 3-on-2 Philadelphia. It'll be Collins.
Nice play by George. 3-on-2 situation. He did a little hesitation move. The defense committed, and he hit the right person.
Bullets lead down to 3. Mata kneeling in front of the Washington bench. Greavy pops back out and brings Collins with him. Dandridge. Short. Caldwell Jones, and finally Doug Collins regains control for the 76ers. Comes inside and hits McGinnis. So McGinnis and Collins working and then the other one.
A great play by Doug, getting the defense off balance. As the weak side picked him up, he was able to hit for the open man.
76ers claw back to within 1. Here's Hayes. Henderson open. Bibby fouled him. Now here's that teamwork that Havlicek told you about.
Okay, we have Doug on a one-on-one situation here that got the defense off balance, and as the defense came from the weak side, he hit George for the easy dunk.
Timeout in the Spectrum with Washington leading Philadelphia in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Championship. Phil Chenier sidelined because of that back injury, and he's always excelled at playoff times. His career average in the playoffs is 20.8 points per game. So at least at the offensive end, the Bullets missed that man several times. Has been a member of the Eastern Conference NBA All-Star team and a teammate of John Havlicek's in that game.
Well, Phil Chenier, in talking with him before the game, feels that he's going to be able to avoid surgery, which is good to hear. So he will be back next year, very strong.
63-61, Bullets. Cunningham still has not gone back to that bench. Unseld is there on Jones. Hayes takes McGinnis. McGinnis drives it on him. Nice move.
Good power move by George.
Dandridge right back for the Bullets. Regains the lead.
You have to have some people blocking up the middle and get help from the weak side, or those people are going to can it when they get in that close.
Dandridge knocked it away from Doug Collins as Philadelphia came flying right back, applying offensive pressure. Kevin Greavy with 18 points already. Jones from the left baseline. 8 points for Caldwell.
Wes is not going out on Caldwell, and he's hit about 3 in a row from the outside. Again, he's one of those role players that does his job, and then you get the added benefit of his shooting ability.
West throws up that running hook shot that goes in. So he's definitely thinking offense a little bit more.
A little bit more in the second half. If he gets in low like that, he's going to shoot that hook.
Unseld's lob outlet intercepted Bibby. Off to Collins, who comes flying. Hayes there on the block. Greavy off of Dandridge's hands and out of bounds. A little too high on the pass.
They wanted that one so quickly that they made just a little bit of an error in the pass, and of course I'm sure he would like to take that one back and do it over again.
67-65. Bullets lead the Sixers 5-10, and Steve Mix is the first reserve up in the second half for Cunningham. McGinnis and Hayes collide. Collins throwing Greavy off as they tangle. Greavy taking a step back, and Earl Strom holds him off. But the foul is on Elvin Hayes as Mix steps back into the ball game, and 3 fouls on Hayes. 3 on Greavy, 3 on Bryant, and 3 on McGinnis for Philadelphia. Knocked away by Dandridge and out of bounds. Philadelphia retains possession, trailing by 2. Collins over the top of the hoop. Outlet Dandridge in the middle. Here's Henderson. Bibby is there, but he'll let Henderson have it.
It's the easiest way to move the ball up the floor, by passing it, and their fast break was very effective that time.
And it results in a 4-point Washington lead with 4:45 to go in the third quarter. Irving's move. Rolled it up off the fingertips. Tried to come back inside. Dandridge was there inside. Henderson outside. Dandridge with the foul.
Julius one-on-one, coming through the middle. No one blocked him out here, and he's able to get the rebound, draw the foul.
Irving. Dandridge thought he was going to come the other side, took the step. Irving cut back inside. 69 to 67. Dandridge backing in on Mix. Comes into the middle. No traveling call. Hayes couldn't tap it back, and Jones off. Philadelphia can tie it here. Caldwell Jones.
Good ball movement by the 76ers that time. Every time the gap closed on, they were able to hit the open man, and Caldwell Jones has now hit 4 in a row.
3:50 to go with the score tied and Mott up. Irving on the steal. Here he comes.
That'll get this crowd alive, and there's nothing more beautiful than to see Julius coming down the floor for an uncontested dunk.
71-69, 76ers. Jones fouled Hayes. Here is that steal again, and the doctor on the fly for the dunk.
Good anticipation by Julius, and in making the steal, no one was back on defense, and Julius was able to can it.
Dandridge. Jones and Hayes battling, and Unseld. Back inside to Hayes, who lost it. Doug Collins on the move. Lead to the doctor. Caught back by Unseld, and here's Greavy. Greavy lead up to Dandridge. Now Bibby comes back. Dandridge hits Hayes, who muscles in. Caldwell Jones fouled it. And Strom is over here at the scorer's table. He is unhappy now with the timer.
I think the Philadelphia crowd was looking for an offensive foul that time.
Hayes has averaged almost 22 a game in the playoffs. They have battled their way through Atlanta, San Antonio. Now they're shooting for that Eastern Conference title.
Elvin had a problem shooting fouls, and he's changed his stance and improved his percentage considerably. He has a much wider stance than he has in the first 9 years of his career.
Jones, chance for the three-pointer.
They've been leaving Caldwell Jones open. He's taking advantage of it. He's hit 3 in a row, and that time he decided to drive.
Timeout has been called, and the key statistic, 4 personal fouls on Elvin Hayes. That's how close this game has remained. The Bullets open up that 9-point lead at the top of the first quarter. Now we've got 2:51 to go in the third. It is 73-71, the Sixers, and Caldwell Jones will be shooting for his 13th point. So he has given the 76ers an offensive boost today.
He only had 2 in the first half, so he's come alive the second half.
Right back to Jones and off to Doug Collins. And Jones powers to Collins. Here's the strength of that move, John.
Well, no one picked him up on the box out, and if you give him that kind of room, he's going to hurt you.
Unseld backing in on Steve Mix, 75-73, a 2-point-6er lead, and Mitch Kupchak will soon check in for Dick Motta. Motta has not yet substituted in the second half. Mix is out there for Cunningham. Irving. 17 points for Irving. 14 for Jones. 15 for Free off the bench, who has not played in the second half. You can hear the crowd being told about the delay of game warning issued by Strom. 76ers trying to get a couple of seconds. Washington applying pressure after any score. Unseld missed it, tapped it up. 0 for 3, 1 for 4, and it counts.
It's just tough to fight through underneath, and he kept alive 4 straight times.
He and Mix exchanging elbows as they come down the floor. Oh, it's getting tough out there right now. Goes back to Mix from the doctor. Collins trying to come down the middle. Greavy goes with him. Now they hit Dougie. Comes down the sideline, and there's Dougie battling underneath, and it goes out of bounds. Over to Washington. Kupchak. In, and Unseld goes out. Lloyd free. Also checks in for Philadelphia. Henderson can't run it down. So they make a mistake on the inbounds, and it'll go to Philadelphia.
Probably should have had one of the big people come back to help out.
So the backcourt pressure rattling the inbounds pass. 76ers up by 2 with 1:30 to go, third quarter. Jones puts it down on Hayes. Kupchak off to Greavy. Bullets can tie it. Boy, he has shot.
He's a great shooter.
He's up to 20 points. 17-point average. Bibby, they leave him alone. No one jumped over. I think Hayes thought Henderson was going to stay there.
Elvin didn't want to pick up. Elvin didn't want to pick up that 5th foul, so he just let him have it.
Inside of a minute. Dandridge.
Julius got a piece of that one.
Bibby leads Flea. Offhand, and the doctor up on the top.
Have to block Julius out further on the floor. If he gets that close, then he's going to give you problems.
4-point Sixers lead. 30 seconds left, third quarter. Kupchak, turnaround on Mix. Dandridge is there, and so is Kupchak. Won't stay down for Washington. They're getting the rebounds. There's Irving. Behind his back and off of Flea's hand.
Almost had it. Julius was in a spinning motion, made a pretty good play, and I think that had he had it over again, he probably would have made the sure pass, the simple pass, instead of behind the back.
Last shot time. Greavy took the clock to 7 seconds. Irving is off. 2 seconds. Flea will have to hurry. Just short. The end of the third quarter of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Championship. Philadelphia leading Washington 81-77. And a reminder to stay tuned for our MVP award at the conclusion of the game as we start the money quarter. And there is the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, Fitz Dixon. What an interesting location he takes for an owner. At the end line on the left-hand side, he can look in on Billy Cunningham and his bench, but he chooses to pass up his 50-yard line seat here in the Spectrum, John. He likes that action underneath the basket.
Oh, he wants to be close to the action and close to that board play.
81-77. Sixers lead the Bullets. Irving, and it was Greavy almost with a steal. Mix is open as a result of Greavy popping out on the doctor. Well, Kevin almost had the steal that time.
Here we have a potential steal, and of course on the double team he hits Steve Mix for an easy basket.
Kupchak and Mix watching him, and Mitch will take the shot high off the glass. It goes down.
It's about a 5-inch height advantage on Steve Mix, so they'll probably go to him down low when they can.
Greavy is watching Lloyd Free. Free with 15 in the first half. The doctor moving in on Dandridge. One shot. Henderson. Greavy thought about it, improved his position. Caldwell Jones. Wright will soon check in, and here's Mix. Unseld and Dandridge back at the defensive end. Bibby with Kupchak. Kupchak coming down with the rebound. Bibby moving back in on him. And so too was Jones, who picked up the foul.
Here we have Julius getting the ball and the defense breaking down. Bibby was left wide open. They got into a little tussle there at the end. Bibby being called for the foul.
That is the 4th foul on Caldwell Jones. Unseld waits. It's Dandridge. Unseld underneath. rolled off of that and got himself right open.
Good play by Bobby. He used the pick effectively, and as Wes rolled to the basket, the defense committed itself for an easy layup.
83-81. Sixers up by a field goal. Nix with Unseld trying to draw the charge. Time is stopped by Strom as the ball bounces away.
Wes trying to act a little bit there. I don't think if you really hit him, he would go into that type of thing because he doesn't move out there.
Jones coming out on Unseld here. Wright, Larry Wright, number 32, shoots one up on Lloyd Free and makes it a 2-point game. 10 minutes. Free to the basket. Kupchak. Bullets can tie it. Here's Greavy. Inside to Dandridge. 85 all with 9:49 to go.
Wright's been very quiet this game, and he pushed the ball up the floor real well that time. Got Greavy in the corner, and then when the defense committed, we got an easy layup out of it. So Wright will start to push the ball up the floor.
Nix. Philadelphia back on top. George McGinnis soon will check back in. Wright coming in on Free, drew the foul as he came to the right baseline. With play stopped, McGinnis checks in, and the doctor will go out for a break at 9:26. Caldwell Jones has gone all the way here in the second half. We haven't seen Daryl Dawkins.
Caldwell hit just about every shot the second half but one, and one time they went one-on-one with him, and he's very effective with it, so I think he's going to go with him since he has a hot hand.
And in that first half, John, you pointed out the big front line Mata had employed, and he's gone back to it, so he felt that that was successful. In game one of a playoff series, you can experiment with several combinations, of course, because there's a little more time, and as the series unfolds, they make defensive adjustments. You can't do that during the regular season because you move on and play a different team.
So true.
So it becomes a whole different contest. Game 2 Wednesday night in Philadelphia. Nix is wide open and missed the shot, and Kupchak is off. And the Bullets can seize the lead with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Wes is guarding Mix, and he's giving him that outside shot.
Unseld goes to Greavy, who comes inside of Doug Collins. He's a fine offensive basketball player.
At Kentucky, he was one of their all-time leading scorers, and he's going to continue to do it in the NBA.
Playing guard for the first time this year at the perimeter. Nix got it down on Unseld for the drive. Philadelphia gets it back. Nix turns around on Kupchak.
Steve Nix is a steady player, and he will fight you out there and never give up. He's a great player.
8:20 to go. Deadlocked again. Fourth quarter. Game 1. Eastern Conference Championship. Here's Wright. Short. And Kupchak got back and no foul, and the Bullets will go up by 2. 16 points for Hayes.
We have the shot taken by Wright. McGinnis thought he had it, thought he got fouled. Elvin gets ball, puts it up, 2 points.
McGinnis from the perimeter ties it. 11 points for McGinnis. Play is stopped again as the basketball is retrieved. Evans now gives it to Greavy. Greavy Wright, Unseld, Hayes, and Kupchak for Washington. Deadlocked at 91. 7:45 to go at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Unseld waits for a cutter, comes with it himself. Caldwell Jones looks for a receiver. It is Free. Free will take it. Lloyd Free's first basket in the second half, 17 for the game.
Wes has about a 30-pound advantage on Steve Nix, and he's trying to take him in low.
Down towards 7:15. Philadelphia trying to cut off Kupchak. Greavy outside, deadlocked it. So Kevin Greavy has put down 24 points. And Bryant will come in to watch him for a while. Free thought better of going one-on-one against Unseld. McGinnis goes to Nix. So he draws the defense.
Good play. Wes is always the person that's going to pick up the man coming to the hoop, and that time when he committed, his man was open, and he dished it off for 2 points.
calls the play at 6:35, and his Bullets down by 1 field goal. Mix jumped out, gambled on Unseld and failed. Here's Kupchak rolling one. He's got it. Good chance to put the Bullets ahead.
We have George going to the hoop, getting past Elvin Hayes, and when West came over to pick up, Steve Mix came in for the easy layup.
That foul was against George McGinnis. 4 on McGinnis, tied at 95. Mitch Kupchak at the free throw line with a chance to put Washington ahead with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Kupchak has scored 12 points. Timeouts remaining for Kupchak and the Bullets 4. For Cunningham and the Philadelphia 76ers, there are 2. Bullets up by 1. Joe Bryant now working in that backcourt because of Kevin Greavy's hot hand. Joe Bryant, a handy fellow to have around. He can play forward guard, goes out of bounds. Philadelphia keeps control.
Larry
Nice
Wright
catch, Hondo. You still got good hands.
Larry Wright is really applying the pressure to Free, trying to keep him from getting the ball.
Jones looking in with Kupchak on him, and now it is McGinnis up on Hayes. Short, and Hayes runs it down. Moving toward the 6-minute mark. Kupchak just short. Here's Lloyd Free with control. In the middle. Free will take it outside. Wright jumped out. Fouled him, says Evans. You caught him right on the elbow. Irving returns.
Larry a little disappointed in that call. He thought he made him change his shot. Got called for the foul.
Tied is the result of that Lloyd free throw. Dandridge in.
A lot of people feel that when Free goes up for a shot, when he kicks his leg out, or legs, he initiates the contact rather than the defense, and they get called for the foul.
Oh, he has got a pair of the strongest thighs of the NBA. Next time at the free throw line, we'll take a look. Built like a defensive back. 5 minutes and 49 seconds to go. 97-96. Sixers over the Bullets. Game 1, Eastern Conference Championship. Wes Unseld drawing a rest here by Dick Motta. McGinnis is on Kupchak. Dandridge maneuvers on Free and goes to Wright. Wright hits from the right baseline.
Good play by Bobby. He had a mismatch, and as he started to make his move toward the hoop, the defense committed and left Wright open.
Wright is all over Free, as you pointed out, John. Traveling on the turnover. They go to the Bullets with Washington up 98-97.
He isn't nearly as strong as Lloyd, but he certainly is very, very quick.
Bryant goes with Kevin Greavy, trying to cool him off. Free takes Wright. Jones assigned to Elvin Hayes. McGinnis with Kupchak, and the doctor goes with Dandridge. Dandridge swings around. Hayes screen. Hayes rolls, and Dandridge comes inside with the ball.
Bobby driving into the middle, spinning away from the defense to open it up so he could get the shot again.
3-point Washington lead. Now as Bryant maneuvers and Greavy is there. Caldwell Jones left alone outside. Makes it a 1-point game. He's been a very important offensive factor. 16 points.
Wes and Elvin are reluctant to come away from the basket, and consequently Steve Mix and Caldwell Jones have been able to get a lot of wide open, uncontested shots.
Kupchak goes down and gets back up. Dandridge goes into Kupchak. Whistle was blown underneath. So Lloyd Free picked that personal up, his third, team 4 with 4:30 to go. Only one team foul against Washington. Greavy with a miss, and Hayes runs it down in the corner. Back to Wright. 4:20, a 1-point Washington lead. Inside to Hayes, and Jones was there with some fine defense. Dandridge. Bryant with his arms in the air. Ball ricochets. Kupchak. Score it, and there's a foul. So the field goal makes it 102-99.
Okay, we have Bobby Dandridge going one-on-one here. Ball being deflected to Kupchak, who sticks it in.
That is the 5th personal foul on Caldwell Jones, who has played a whale of a game here this afternoon. We haven't even seen Dawkins in the second half.
I thought we'd be seeing a lot more of Dawkins, but Jones was going very well, so they stayed with him. And rightfully so.
There's Darrell watching from the Philadelphia bench. Al Domenico just checked and confirmed that is 5 personals against Jones. 103.99 bullets. 3:55 now left in the game. Dandridge takes the doctor. And Dandridge with a great defensive play. Stole it from the doctor, and the bullets come back. Key moment for Washington. Cup check up. Just short. They couldn't convert it, and as McGinnis came out, he was fouled in the backcourt. Here's that steal, John.
Okay, when you're playing Julius, I think that once he gets up into the air, you have no chance of getting the ball. But if you can get a piece of it anywhere from the floor up to his waist, that's your best shot at stopping Julius, because once he's up, he's going to get the shot away. You're not going to block it. Bullets came down a little too quickly that time. They should have worked the ball a little more for a better shot.
4-point difference. McGinnis makes it 3. 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go from the Spectrum, Philadelphia. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Championship. I'm Brent Musburger with John Havlicek. Game 2 of our CBS doubleheader is next. You'll see either Portland, Seattle, or Milwaukee, Denver. Now it is down to 2. 103, 101. Wes Unseld will come in for the stretch. Away from right, runs it down before it goes across the midcourt line. Shot clock down towards 5. Wright will put it up on free. It is off, and down comes McGinnis. 76ers going for the tie. McGinnis off, and Greavy. Greavy calls out the play. Doug Collins now will take Greavy. Dandridge going to work on Irving. Glides inside and passed it off, and Hayes just couldn't get a handle, but Washington may have gotten a break down there. I want to take a look at that one, John.
Okay, here we have Dandridge going one-on-one, making a real good move to the hoop. And there again, that ball was ricocheting off people so much that I don't know who hit it last.
Oh, John, you're being very kind. 2:43 left in Philadelphia. This a friend of yours, John?
I don't know him, but he must be another Dancing Harry or whatever, but he's got the crowd going wild right now.
103, 101. Washington with the ball in the lead right now. 2:43 to go. Unseld up on Lloyd Free. Right to right. Greavy outside. Kevin Greavy shot ricochets behind. McGinnis is there. Philadelphia can go for the tie. 2:30 left in the Spectrum. Elvin Hayes jumps out, and the whistle was blown. Loose ball foul on George McGinnis.
And I think it might be a backcourt foul,
Hayes
too.
popped out. Mata yelling it's a backcourt foul, but he's on the other side. Let's take a look, John, at whether or not he had possession here.
We have good anticipation by Elvin. I think what happened here is he's being held and was not able to get to the ball as quickly as he wanted. Good call.
There is a big free throw, and here's the penalty. Now, John, you say he's got a wider stance, right?
Yes.
That's the difference with him?
Yes, since he has moved to this stance, spreading his feet a little wider, he's been much more effective.
Well, at least he's 50% that time, John. He didn't let it down. Free coming up, and Wright was there on the foul. Wright trying to pressure him, and he can't believe it. He said, Free just drove right into me. Lloyd shaken up.
Larry Wright's been pressuring Lloyd Free, particularly in the latter part of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Lloyd just got his head by, was able to pick up the foul.
Washington not yet in the penalty. 2:10, 104, 103. 21 for Irving. Bullets with a 1-point lead. Coming down toward the 2-minute warning. Henderson will check back in. Here's Dandridge. Hayes wants it on Jones. Jones coming up, and if that's on Caldwell, that's number 6. It is indeed.
14.
Elvin Hayes does want the ball in a situation like this, and he was able to draw the foul.
And that is the corner on number 11,
Caldwell Jones fouls out. He turned in a tremendous game. 16 points and 11 rebounds.
I don't know how many times he intimidated the Bullets to take bad shots or disrupt their offensive patterns.
And here's Gerald Dawkins with 1:47 left. Hayes back at that free throw line. 18 points.
53, Gerald Dawkins.
There's that stance. Off again. Didn't help him that time. He goes 1 of 3. He's gone 2 of his last 5. It's a 2-point Bullet lead, and 3 ties it. 138. And those missed free throws loom ever so big right now. Irving tightening up on him. Greavy goes crashing down. Free's back up. Henderson outside. Irving with a rebound. 120. Score tied, and here's Lloyd Free. Free comes over. Dandridge on the steal. The doctor gets back. So does Free. They didn't give him the layup. Dandridge wanted Hayes. Tried to force the ball. Hit by Unseld, who's hurt. Wes is hurt as he slapped the ball. He wrenched the knee. Washington takes the lead on the Greavy hoop by 2. 56 seconds. Now, Philadelphia goes for the timeout, but I want to see Wes Unseld's leg right now. John Lally is coming out. There was no question that he wrenched it. That could be the most painful field goal that Washington gets in the playoffs. There was an obvious and immediate pain etched across Unseld's face. Several years ago, of course, he was hobbled by the bad knees, rehabilitated it, and they can ill afford to lose someone like Wes Unseld. But what an effort, John Havlicek, as he came down. He slapped at the ball to Kevin Greavy, the only way to keep it alive, and Greavy spun up for the basket.
No question about it. Even to start that play, Bobby Dandridge had a wide open floor ahead of him, but he was being pursued by Irving and Free, and I don't think that he would have got to the basket with those 2 people. He pulled it up. Someone was coming down the floor. I believe it was Elvin Hayes. He tried to make the quick pass in. It got deflected, and there was a lot of hustle, and Wes came up with the best play on that particular sequence. Gave it to Greavy, I believe, who was able to get the basket for the easy 2 points.
Kevin Greavy with 26 points. Elvin Hayes with 19. Kupchak with 15. Dandridge with 18. Those 4 men have carried the offensive load.
Very well-balanced scoring by the Bullets.
Right now, the Bullets lead by that field goal, Kevin Greavy's. And coming up next, it'll be Portland-Seattle, Game 5 from Portland, or Milwaukee-Denver, Game 6, Milwaukee. Elvin Hayes is going to take a timeout because they are still working on Wes Unseld, John Lally. So they will use a timeout.
We had 4 timeouts for the Bullets, and they elected to take 2 of them right now so that they could get West back together. It may be the ankle, Brent.
It could have been. It was no question it was the leg, John, and there was a severe wrenching as he made the turn to bat the ball. And a reminder, next Saturday afternoon on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the WBA World Light Heavyweight Championship. Victor Galindez against Yaki Lopez. That'll be coming your way from Italy. Tom Brookshire will be going over there to describe that fight. Tom is here in the Spectrum this afternoon. Of course, he lives in Philadelphia and for a long time was the sportscaster here on Philadelphia on the CBS station, WCAU. Tommy, a good friend of George McGinnis and Julius Irving's, and he'll be leaving for Italy soon. And there is a broadcaster at CBS that I want to send along our best wishes to, Tim Ryan, who's been working on the NBA and, of course, does a lot of hockey games out of the New York area. We understand that his young son will undergo surgery sometime within the next 2 weeks. 12-year-old boy who's a fine hockey player, Tim told me, and we sure want to wish him the best. 55 seconds to go. 107-105, and Wes Unseld will finish up. CJ, Charles Johnson on the floor. Henderson, Hayes, Unseld, and Dandridge.
He has Henderson and Johnson in there for defensive purposes. They took Greavy out, and I think that what they'll probably do, the 76ers, is go to Free or an Irving, an individual who can get some kind of movement toward the hoop.
They've been able to get some layups with Doug Collins moving underneath, too, John. If they can screen him, they've certainly got plenty of time to go for the tie.
Here we go with the 1-4, and Lloyd's going to go one-on-one until someone commits.
McGinnis gave it back to Collins at the perimeter. Out. Johnson with control. 42 seconds.
Big rebound by Johnson.
Dandridge slows it up. Last 30 seconds. Goes down toward 10 on the shot clock. 2-point Washington lead. Here's Hayes. Turnaround on McGinnis is off. It's Irving. They got 22 seconds. Time enough to tie it. Free checks the clock. That's the time remaining in the game. Free puts one up, drew the foul. So he'll come to the line.
Lloyd Free going one-on-one again, and he did that so effectively in the first half, and it paid off on that particular play.
The second, team 4, Free at the line, shooting, through.
So the pressure falls on Lloyd Free. And he's short. And he's complaining that Elvin Hayes stepped across the line. Evans not buying it. Timeout. Mono wanted him to apply a little more psychological pressure right now on the shoulders of Lloyd Free, John.
No question about it. He missed the first one. He wants him to make sure that he thinks about this second one.
107-105. What'd you think about the shot that Free took in the first place? I suppose getting to the free throw line is as good, but I thought he came down and forced one up over there with someone on him.
I thought it was a forced shot, and I think that they probably should have worked it a little more, but when you go to the line like that, I guess you can second guess yourself to some extent, but I think I would have worked it a little better and hopefully get it inside where they would have a chance for a couple of rebound taps or something like that. I know that after this particular play here, Washington will probably call a timeout if he does make it, so they can get the ball at half court rather than travel the full distance of the floor, because you don't want to give Philadelphia a chance of stealing the ball in the backcourt.
Denver and Milwaukee, that'll be game 6 of that series. So regardless of which game you're going to be watching next, of course, we'll keep you up to date with the other contests going on. Wasn't that a splendid effort turned in by Marcus Johnson down in Denver to keep the Bucks alive? And of course, Portland is gamely trying to hang in there without Bill Walton, without Bobby Gross, and now without Lloyd Neal, trailing Seattle 3-1.
As you can see, they are applying ice to Wes Unsel's ankle, so it's not the knee, it is the ankle. That could be a real big blow if it happens to be severe. Right now, the important thing for the Bullets is to keep everyone off the boards. You have to block them out on this particular play.
42, Ballard replaces Unser. The 35, Kevin Green for Ballard.
Mata is at the scoring table with Greavy.
Get Ballard check in. Get Ballard in.
Now, they're saying that Ballard checked in and then Mata changed his mind. That's what the problem is. That's what the argument is.
I think the reason they tried to make that change at that point was to get another ball handler in there, because the 76ers are going to be applying a lot of pressure, and they wanted to get Greavy in for Ballard.
And Ballard had officially checked in, and so Earl Strom said, get him out here. It's 107-105. And Ballard yanked down the rebound as the whistle is blown, and with 9 ticks of the clock left. So Lloyd Free misses a pair of free throws that would have tied this game. And Ballard pulled down that big rebound after they tried to hide him on the bench over there.
Well, now he has a chance to really ice it for them if he can put in these two, and he's a good shooter.
And of course, at the conclusion of this game, John Havlicek, we must vote for a most valuable player. 108-105. And the crowd, as you can see, starting to file out. So Philadelphia had its chances. They just could not get the tie. And Washington can put it away. John, who do you like as the MVP of this game?
I'm taking Kevin Greavy right now. I think Kevin did a real fine job. His job is to score points. He puts them up on the board, and he's my choice right now.
I will agree. And so the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award will go to Kevin Greavy. And the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to Kentucky on behalf of Kevin Greavy as a score 26 points. 9 seconds. 109-105, and so this is the identical situation which Boston and Philadelphia turned in a year ago in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Celtics came in here, won the first game, and then as Boston Garden was at game 3, but Lloyd Free shot the lights out up there one night.
That's right. We came down here and we won the first game, but could not keep the home court advantage because they did take it away from us in Boston. As I pointed out earlier, the 76ers could be ripe for an upset because they had that long layoff. Maybe this will more or less mentally get them ready for the rest of the series, because they have had a little bit of time off and it really didn't help them.
They were certainly a slow starting team in the first quarter, John.
Yes, very much so. It's ironic, but last year on this same particular weekend, we were eliminated by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Also, if there's a chance that the 76ers could have been a bit overconfident, reading some of the clippings here, they really thought that Washington was going to fall easily. And that can affect the ball club. They handled the Knicks so easily. They really were not challenged all that much. Here is Irving. Stays at 4. Darryl Dawkins makes it a 2-point game in 5 seconds.
Still 5 seconds to go here, so anything can happen.
McGinnis is forced to jump ball on Henderson. 3 seconds. A chance for the tie.
Situation like that, you want to try and move the ball as much as possible. Don't hold it. It's an obvious mismatch on the jump ball, too. I see Lloyd Free wanting a 20-second timeout so that they can get a chance to prepare a play or whatever.
McGinnis and Henderson will be jumping at the Philadelphia end, and suddenly the 76ers, after we count them out one game, have still another chance.
He didn't want to take that timeout, but he certainly wanted to get 20 seconds so that they could get themselves together to find out what they are going to do.
That's what happens when you shoot all that time. That elbow gets sore, John. Here it comes. Tip to Doug Collins. Collins up with a shot. Time!
soon almost. There's the tap being controlled by McGinnis to Collins. One dribble, no time except for the shot. Good pressure player, Doug Collins.
So we're going to be back with the overtime from the Spectrum. Well, Philadelphia has dramatically come back in game one. Here is how it dramatically turned around, John.
George McGinnis controlling the tap, one dribble, a shot, tie ball game. I thought that the Bullets probably after the last made basket should have called a timeout, taken the ball out at half court rather than keeping the ball in the 76ers zone, end of the floor.
76ers control. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up right after the overtime. 5 minutes of overtime. And Irving following up McGinnis's miss. Unseld finally with control. The Bullets, and Wes Unseld is badly slowed by that injured ankle. He is hobbling down to position. Daryl Dawkins will take Unseld. Dandridge up on free.
It's the obvious mismatch, and Dandridge has been very effective down low today.
And Unseld is in big pain out here, John.
I don't know if he's going to make it through the rest of the game. I saw him motion to the bench just now. If they lose him, they're really hurting.
Inside now to Dawkins. Offense is the call. And of course,
two pretty big fellas down low, and Darryl puts his body into Wes. Gets called for the foul, and Wes is leaving the game. The ankle's really bothering him.
So a big blow. He twisted it in the fourth quarter, tapping the ball to Kevin Greavy for a basket. And our doubleheader game will be coming up, as I have told you, right after this overtime. You'll see the Portland, Seattle, or Denver, Milwaukee.
Here we have Dawkins. Instead of going around the pick, he just tries to fight through it.
He will go on the first round as an offensive tackle. Kansas City Chiefs have just solved that problem. 3 minutes and 50 seconds in the overtime. Henderson to the glass. And underneath, Elvin Hayes. The Bullets go up by 4. Philadelphia has not yet scored in overtime. Harvey Catchings will come in and try it. Lloyd free. The Bullets can run off the first 6 in the overtime. CJ. Back to McGinnis.
Nice play by Dandridge. Drew the defense, and Charlie had that shot, and that's the one that he likes.
Collins. And Elvin was there on the block and blocks it a second time. 2 blocks lead to Dandridge. Dandridge is just tackled and held up by Daryl Dawkins.
Good defense by Charlie Johnson. Of course, the ball gets away here. Elvin blocks it. Good alert pass up the floor, and as you can see, there's no way that Daryl's going to allow that basket.
Cunningham wants a timeout. He substituted Catchings for Dawkins. And here is the timeout. They'll come over to the Philadelphia bench. So we'll be back. Now, a reminder, doubleheader game will be coming up right after the overtime. 3:05 left in OT. There sits our Chevrolet most valuable player today. But Kentucky's a good school, John. We'll let them keep that scholarship money since we've already given it away, even though I did read in Sports Illustrated a couple of weeks ago that I was supposed to have called Kentucky coach Joe Hall at 3 in the morning and hung up. That's not true. I've never even talked to Joe Hall. 3 minutes to go in overtime. 1:15-109. Bullets now ahead of the 76ers. Back to free from Steve Mix. Collins outside, and the Sixers are on the board in overtime. It's a 4-point Washington lead. The Bullets going without the injured Wes Unseld. Caldwell Jones is fouled out for Philadelphia. A dramatic turnaround. George McGinnis tying up Tom Henderson. Winning the tap, and Collins putting down the tire. Kevin Greavy will check back in. Charles Johnson now rotates. Collins comes with him. CJ on a pull-up. Lloyd free with it down. Philadelphia can run off 2 in a row and climb right back. It's the doctor. It's 2:22 and a 2-point Bullet lead.
The Bullets didn't get back on time. There was a 3-on-1 fast break. They have to get back. If they take an outside shot, you must have people back.
Here's Elvin. Harvey catching, watching him. Elvin comes up. Foul is called. He'll have a couple more free throws. So here's Kevin Greavy. Charles Johnson goes out.
With Elvin down low in his favorite spot, he gets catchings up in the air and draws the foul. The Bullets just brought in Kevin Greavy for a little more offense, so our most valuable player is going to get a chance to prove it here, Brent.
Second try for Hayes.
Greavy has scored 26. That's 22 for Hayes. So he hits 2 here in overtime, and it's a 4-point Bullet lead again with 2 minutes to go. Coming right up, it'll be Seattle-Portland, the Supersonics, with a chance to eliminate the champions. Denver with a chance to oust game Milwaukee. Irving backing in on Dandridge with that great body control that he had.
Gets up in the air so well, and most people hit the floor, and he's still hanging there, so he has a clear view of the basket.
What hang time, Hondo, with 1:40 to go now in overtime, and the Bullets up by 2. Mata is up. Cup check. Rotates the other way. Dandridge comes in. Irving! And Dandridge gets it back. Nick sealing him off. And a whistle is sounded. There's something wrong with the 24-second.
On that change of possession, they did not reset the 24-second clock, so Earlstrom picked that up quickly and made the good call.
Time left in overtime. Cunningham checking with the timers. .22 seconds, and Washington with the possession and a 2-point lead. Collins protesting. They want it down to 20. Collins lobbies and gets 2 more seconds off. So it was a 2-second argument by Doug. Now Dandridge will inbound. Here's Kupchak. Back to Henderson. Mix yelling out a defensive call. Free with Henderson. Mix bumping Kupchak, trying to keep him back. Tip back up by Greavy. Greavy stays right with it, and so too does Elvin, who's got it and comes to the line.
Kevin Greavy's a big guard, and he kept it alive enough for Elvin Hayes. And Elvin on the good rebound, fake, and the basket. Here's the replay. Greavy keeps it alive. He keeps it alive again. Elvin gets it, fakes him up in the air, draws the foul, potential 3-point play.
And here's Elvin Hayes. Missed 3 in the 4th quarter, hit 2 here in overtime. Adds 3rd free throw in overtime. 120-115. 109. Collins. Greavy on him. Dandridge standing there on the switch, and Kupchak yanks it down. Outlet now to Henderson. Inside of a minute left.
Doug forced that one a little bit. Julius was down low calling for the ball, and actually they should have worked it a little more.
3 out on Henderson. Henderson comes around into the alley, down to Kupchak. Wouldn't stay, but Hayes is playing magnificently here in overtime. A left-hand tap in, 7 points. I would say Washington has won it, John, but I've been wrong already once today. Saved by Mix, goes back. Julius will have to hustle, just saves it. Now 20 seconds. Catchings, left-handed bank shot. Greavy comes up. They can kill the clock. 10 seconds. Knocked away by Free with 6 seconds. And of course, coming up, Portland, Seattle, or Denver, Milwaukee. That's our doubleheader game on CBS. And the Eastern Conference Championship begins with an overtime game. Hayes outside. Kupchak at the buzzer. It's over. And the Washington Bullets in overtime beat the Philadelphia 76ers 122 to 117. However,